You know, guys, lately I don't do a lot of videos like that, but I'm going to share this one video with you guys. I'm going to share this Honorable Cherry Coco. This video has been out for quite a while, but I've been very cautious. I'm taking my time because, you know, sometimes you don't want to just jump to conclusion and praise these people, especially these politicians, because you never know what's going to be the next step. But now I'm beginning to see that this man is very serious. Giving the events today, he stood his ground as a member of parliament, as the biggest opposition. And I think it's time now for me to, you know, dive into this matter and share this with you guys, because I want the world to see this. What is happening in Sierra Leone is a travesty. It should not happen. The President Julius Maada Bio, is threatening our democracy. And I want President Joe Biden to see this video. I want, Mr. David Reimer, the ambassador to Sierra Leone from the United States, to see this video. The things that have happened, the events that have occurred in Sierra Leone since President Bio came to power has been very traumatic and psychologically impairing to the people of Sierra Leone. The killings, the mass massacres across the country, you know, the mass violations, gross violations of human rights. You know, people are protesting and being killed. Like, you know, even though President Trump did not kill nobody in America, but we saw how they handled protesters in DC when President Trump wanted to go across Lafayette Square. We saw how the protesters were fired with pepper balls and they were just bulldozed out of the way. Well, President Bio took it a whole step. President Biden, I want you to understand, it took it a whole new level to where he actually killed citizens exercising their rights to protest, exercising their constitutional rights to free speech. And that's what happened to the people in McKinney. So please, guys, for the State Department, share this. We know you guys are aware because we've seen the 2020 human rights reports, but action needs to be taken. The oppositions, they are now standing and doing their work. We've seen the opposition suffer from this government. They went to parliament, removed 10 members of parliament from the biggest opposition. They did not do anything about it. The opposition did not fight back. Honorable Chino Ba did not fight back. And they imposed the Speaker of Parliament on them. The Speaker of Parliament that was caught with his pants down, naked, sleeping with a woman that was not his wife. All of that kind of, he should have resigned, he should have been kicked out of that position, but all of that stuff, guys. But I want you guys to see how the opposition in Sierra Leone is standing up to this government now. This is the speaker, this is the deputy leader, this is the leader of the opposition in parliament, and and I want you guys to see his stance that he took, defending the people of Sierra Leone against the unpopular census and cybercrime bill that this government of President Julius Maada Bio wants to introduce because they want to bring, dictatorship back to Sierra Leone. He's threatening the democracy. I want President Joe Biden to understand this. I want Mr. Reimer to understand that President Bio is threatening the democracy that we have in Sierra Leone, and he does not believe in people having the rights to free speech. He does not believe in people like us doing what we're doing, advocating, educating, and sensitizing our people. He wants to take that away from us. And it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. We've been through too much. The people of Sierra Leone have suffered enough, and we don't want that to happen again. I'm going to share this video with you all so you can see Honorable Chino Ba, we're doing his work as the biggest opposition leader in the country. And I'm going to share similar videos to show how oppositions across the globe are actually doing, their work. So watch this.
Basically, the census that has been planned by this government is something I believe as a nation we must rethink. I want to believe that not just this one, but even before, I'm sure you remember the NCRA, the NACRA incident last year, when they issued an earlier press release that was not in line with what the law says. That is, they thought they were going to engage in voter registration. Then subsequently, they came out again with another release before the president, in his wisdom, after various voices coming out, decided to come out with a statement for it to be cancelled. Again, this census, I am sure people have misadvised the president. And we have said times without number, as an opposition, we're here, we are ready, because we are partners in development. We are always willing and ready to support the government in doing what is right. But it is difficult and impossible for us to support this census exercise. The procedures have not been followed. How can you do cartography in less than 2 or 3 weeks? The last cartography in 2014-15 was done over a 12-month period. GPS and these things are not accurate. They can provide guide. They can provide basically a guide that will help you to estimate, but they are not accurate in any form. we must go beyond what we are doing because of the numbering issues we have, the naming of certain streets. A remote village in Kubola or somewhere in Bonth or Kailaon is not the same as a street in Freetown. So the GPS will not be as effective and adequate as we want it to be. We are not yet advanced to that stage. The internet is not as effective as it is. But most importantly, again, Section 2 of the Census Act is very, very clear that before the president does a pronouncement of same, he must have received an advice from a minister, and after that advice, when the pronouncement is made, it must come to Parliament because it has to be done through a statutory instrument, Section 2. And Section 170 of our Constitution is clear. Whenever there is a statutory instrument, it must come to Parliament for its validity. There is no statutory instrument before Parliament to confirm that, yes, the process should have been commenced. So all that has been happening is out of place. So basically, I am pleading again with the President to go back to the books and get those that advised him prior to now to re-advise and make sure they advise him properly. But definitely all that has been done so far is not correct. And as representatives of our people, our duty is to represent and protect their interest in the House of Parliament. As members of Parliament, I don't want to say as an opposition, as members of Parliament, because all of us, the Constitution provides the same responsibility for us: oversight, representation, and lawmaking. So in representing our people, we want to believe that this census is not timely, this census is not necessary, and it will add little or no value to our economy. Let us use the resources we are planning to use to cater for the bread and butter we are all yearning for. Again, I'm calling on the President to rethink and look at exactly what the situation is, but I believe that this census is definitely not necessarily, nor is it timely at this point in time.
Well, guys, so you've seen Honorable Chenoba, I'm speaking against the census bill because I want you guys to understand what it was. Well, I'm going to share this video from Ghana. This is an opposition member in Ghana. And the reason why I'm sharing this from Ghana is because I want you to compare and contrast. Honorable Chenoba, his demeanor is very peaceful, very calm. And this is the kind of guy who, is not very confrontational. And we've seen it in his dispositions and everything he's been doing over the years. For all the crimes against humanity and all the, shoving down the throat of this, lack of respect for members of parliament in Sierra Leone, he has kept his composure and he has never been, taking things out of context to blow everything out of proportion. But I think it's time he's acting. But I want you to see a real opposition member in Ghana speak. And this should be the stance of real oppositions across Africa. So watch this guy from Ghana, and I'll share another video with you of other APC, comrades that have really, stood their ground to let this SLPP government know that democracy belongs to the people. It is power of the people, for the people, and by the people. Watch this video from Ghana.
We are in opposition. We bet this fourth Republican democracy. And as a responsible opposition, a law-abiding political party, it is our responsibility to continuously highlight these acts of violence, these cruel acts which have the tendency to plunge this country into chaos and doom. It is our responsibility to do so, and that is why we are doing it. But above all, we also have a right to defend ourselves. And that is why our elections director, and even before today, our national youth organizer, has called on all party supporters to defend themselves in line with the right to self-defense provided under the Constitution. And today we are reiterating that call. Comrades who are listening to us this afternoon, do not sit aloof and allow these cowards and criminals to beat you, maim you, and even kill you. You have a right to defend yourselves. Mobilize yourself. Come together. Whatever you can get you can get to defend yourself against harm, against death, do so. Call on us anytime you need any support, and we will stand by you every step of the way to make sure that we resist this oppressive rule, this rule of terror and tyranny we are all being subjected to. And we know we shall prevail at the end of the day. But we have also cautioned members of our security agencies who still have their conscience intact, their integrity intact, and who are not happy with what is happening, that they must rise up and be counted. This is the time for them to act. Today, the Ghana Armed Forces is being bastardized. As for the police, I mean, they've been rendered useless by this government, which has bastardized all state security agencies. But there are good people in there, and I dare say that the good people in there are in the majority. And that is why we are appealing to their conscience that people are giving the institutions you belong to a bad name. This is the time to act. As for the MPP hoodlums and bandits and their collaborators in our state security agencies, like Honorable Levy said, power is transient. December 7th is not far. The next NDC government will fish all of them out, including the policemen in uniform, that police commander at Ifutu, including all of them, Afenyo Mark, and all these members of parliament. And that is why he said that we are all in this country who know what is happening. You can consider that as a threat or a warning, because that day is coming, and it is coming really quick. We will fish all of them out and deal with them drastically, including the men in army uniforms, police uniforms, and all of them. Apart from standing up to their intimidation now, apart from mobilizing ourselves to defend our people through every legitimate means, we will ensure when that day of reckoning comes, when that day of accountability comes, we will ensure that there is retribution. And that is why the international community, our religious bodies, civil society organizations who are not happy with what is happening, some of whom are speaking up, like Bishop Ajina Sari, like the security experts who are calling for the dismissal and the prosecution of that gangster, criminal, thuggish minister Hawa Kumsen. That is why we are saluting all of them. We are encouraging them to continue to speak up. We will not stop the press conferences. But that doesn't mean that that is all we will do. We will defend ourselves. We have told our people to mobilize. If they attack them, they should retaliate through every legitimate means, because they have the right to self-defense. That is what we will do. But when eventually, I'm saying when and not if, because it is just a matter of time, power shifts, then we will know what will become of these criminals and thugs and their collaborators in our state agencies who are terrorizing innocent civilians, including journalists, maiming people, killing people, and so on. That day will surely come. And so, Parker, what has happened is not an invitation. What is happening is a cover-up. We are aware, we know what the plan is, and we are telling them, all the people there, they are making the police officers there, they are making their police career, the military officers, they are making their career in the military, that respected state security agency, coterminous with that of President Akufo-Addo. The day President Akufo-Addo will exit office will be the last day they will serve as policemen and military men, and we will deal with them mercilessly. That is the message we are sending across to them today. Thank you.
All right, guys. So now that you've seen this video from Ghana, this is the other members of the opposition party. This is Alfred Paulo Conte, who was locked up, charged with treason, cooked up crime. I mean, nothing. He did not do anything wrong. They wanted to kill this man because he's a member of the opposition. He was the former Minister of Defense. And so they just wanted to take his life. But, you know, thank God it didn't go that way. But this is Alfred Paulo Conte challenging the SOPP government. So watch this.
Pray for me, then they pray for me. Let God bless you all for that. And God answer the prayer. Let me jail man compensate. Then me feel say them go break me. When I now not ready for this trip. And now we don't ready. When they say tomorrow, we say today, we begin today. We don't ready. Me also, Jaman, I go so say Namina the boss. Nobody know the thief APC vote who Sapalo Kunze Daisy. We not go begin now, but if anybody begin, United Nations will come back. We don't ready.
Passivity.
We don't ready. Anybody beat we by election, fairly, we accept her.
All right, guys. So you've seen all of that, and now this is Alhaji Yansane. He is the Secretary General of the APC, the biggest opposition. Watch this video, and we'll take it from there.
They don't push me against the wall.
So true again.
But up to now, we don't feel sufficiently threatened not to get the power. But if they push me with their diabolical plans and what they want, like the midterm census, if they push me for the clear, what they call elections by the local governments over non-partisan, if they bring this cybercrime bill and make it a reality, we could tell them, say, the whole country now we get out. And we now they mobilize
This strong statement for the Secretary of the
in addition to the APC, 12 other registered political parties. But tell them, say, anything where illegal, we all they come together and say no to dictatorship. This dictatorship, then pull we speaker, now we hand, then take out, we keep quiet, in the interest of peace.
So true.
10 of we eminent members of parliament, they remove them, keep the peace. They kill people there. Now, several places in this country, we keep the peace. We don't continue for keep the peace. When they know they keep the peace, then they push for make sure say we don't win this election. We are bound to win this election and we will win it.
So true.
Come 2022.
So true.
2023, we will win and go to State House by the grace of God.
Amen.
Former Chairman Batilo was saying it. We aren't going to be complacent. We've not got it yet. In my local language, they say imende be a hoy badebe fue. Okay? We don't have the bad in our hands, so we can't say we've held it. That's the direct translation. Okay? So we haven't got the bad in our hand yet. We've seen the bad. We've had sight of the bird. And oh boy, we're going to catch it. We're going to catch it. We've got plans for catching that bird. And that bird is State House and the Houses of Parliament. Come 2018, no matter what APC is going to do, we are ready to fight. And you know what? I, Mohammed Yongao, chairman of UKI, SMPP UKI region, stand with our current national PRO when he made a proclamation. If APC declare war, we they endorse him.
Yes.
We they endorse him. I stand with him. I stand with him. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? They said, if you can't stand the heat, don't go into the kitchen. And you know, sometimes when I tell my parents and I tell my wife that you feel here that I'm at Pandemba Road, you know, just start sending me the medications. It could be for a long haul. We are ready for it, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you one thing. My people wanted me to register in Kenema. I didn't do it. I registered in Freetown because that is where the fight is going to happen. And APC likes it or not, that is where the battle is going to be fought. And this time round, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to take any mess from them. We're not going to take any Mark 3, Mark 4, Mark 5. No banning of troubles. No banning of troubles. Because we go up and down Freetown. We must make sure that happens. Because the last time, that was the way they rigged the election. We won't allow them to rig the election this time, ladies and gentlemen. We will not allow them. We will not allow them to rig the elections. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen.